Hello and welcome to this video demonstrating a model-driven Power App for the Microsoft project data. So this is just a quick video to show the app that I built as part of a blog series that I've published over the last month or so. So this app brings together Microsoft project data that's been synced to various task lists in SharePoint Online. So as we can see here, we've got a list of all of the active projects. Obviously, it's a model-driven app, so we can create various views for the data, but we'll just give a quick walkthrough of this app. So we can see here, if we look at this test project 5, we can see some of the data is locked because that comes from the SharePoint task list, so such as the URL, we wouldn't want to change that in our form here. We can change the description, we can change various values. So we've got various bits of metadata that we've added here to extend the capability of the Microsoft project data. So if we save and close that, if we go back to the tasks, so we can see here we're pulling through the tasks from the schedule as well. We've added additional metadata into the tasks as well. So we've got some task notes, we've got a highlight field, and we've got an example RAG as well. We've also added a custom risks entity here as well. So we've got, if we have a look at this one here, standard sort of risks form, some default fields that I've added as part of this risks entity. So we've got here probability impact that calculates exposure. We've got a status field, due dates. So just the standard bits of data that you'd expect for a risk. So that's the app itself. So it's very basic, but it just shows a way to extend the Microsoft project data when you're syncing to a SharePoint task list. Because if you're just using the standalone MPP files or the standalone task list in SharePoint, to get this sort of cross-project view isn't that straightforward. So with this process, pushing it into the CDS, it's very simple. And what that enables us to do then is build Power BI reports. So if we have a look here, we've got an example Power BI report. So it's functional to show us the data that we've got across all of these different projects. So we've got an example Gantt view. So this is effectively like your project center. So we can see all of the projects that we've got here and a nice Gantt to show when the projects are starting and ending. And then we've got like a quick sort of project overview report here where we can see all of the tasks that we've got for this project, again with a Gantt. And then we've got some quick counts by highlighted and tasks racks. We can change and look at other projects if we want to. We've also got a cross-project risk report. So we can see here that for all of these projects that I've saved into SharePoint and pushed into that CDS, we've got these risks here again with some quick visuals to show that. So that all hangs together with a solution that's built within the Power Platform. So the first component really, or the main component, is actually this flow that we've got. So we'll have a quick look at the flow. The flow is all documented as part of the blog series anyway, but this runs on a schedule as it's just my test environment. It's only running once a week, but you might run this once a day or more frequent than that. And this is the component that's responsible for pulling that data from across all of those different SharePoint task lists in SharePoint Online on that site collection and pushing that data into the CDS entities for our app to use and then for our Power BI report to consume as well. So I won't go into details for this, but it grabs all of the sites or the subwebs for the site collection, and then for each of the site we go through and basically loop through for each site and then push it into the CDS. So we push the project record in, and then all of the tasks that we've got, we get all of the tasks as well from the project, and then push the tasks into CDS as well. So it's very, very straightforward. And then what we've also got is various entities within the solution. So if we go back into here, so we've got this Microsoft project data solution, and the entities here to store that data that we're pushing in from the flow or from the app. So if we have a look at an example project here, so here's one that I haven't saved yet to SharePoint. So we've got, let's just add another PM test, task 3, automatic to this. So let's just save this. And now we're going to call this Paul's project test 12. So if we just save this, I'm going to choose the right site collection because it needs to go to this site collection, and I'm going to call it PM Test Project 12. And let's save that. So that will go and push that project data to the SharePoint task list that I'm just creating here. And then that will open up that task list so we can see that we've got the tasks in SharePoint. So that's standard Microsoft project capability. And if we refresh this list here, which is at the site collection level, we'll see our new site, which is PM Test Project 12. But at that point, if we refresh this data, we won't see that project in there currently. We need the flow to run to go and push that project in. So if we just set this to run now, I'll just show you that. So let's hit that to run and done. So that's now processing. So when that is finished, that will then appear into the CDS and we'll see that in our app. Now that the flow has completed successfully, if we go back to our app and refresh the data, we should see our PM Test Project 12 has appeared. So we've got that in there. So let's have a look at that. So here we can now start setting some data, test description. We can start setting some of these values for the metadata. Let's have a look at the tasks, and we can see our 3 tasks that have been pulled across from our project that we sync to SharePoint. So we can start adding additional data into there as well, and then we can start creating risks as well for this project. So that's it really. So very simple app that we've built with no code. It's all configuration through the Power Platform with a flow, a Power Automate flow, and then some entities, and then the model-driven app in Power Apps. So that's the end of the quick video. I say everything is all documented to walk through this. If you are using project data and you're saving that to a SharePoint task list, and you're interested in building something like this to give you more of a cross-project type view of your project data, I will put a link into the video description so you can follow through on the blog post and build something similar yourselves. But thank you for watching.